And we live. Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the very first episode of Coffee and Perspective with Jay Steen. I am very, very happy and very grateful to have this next gentleman on. He goes by the name of Mr. Themba Robin. Say what's up.
How's it going? How's everyone?
Good. So basically, I wanted to get Themba on as the first guest because not only does he have some interesting stories to tell, I've known him for how many years? We've known each other for quite
grade 8.
Yeah, probably
going on 10 years, 10, 11 years, eh?
Going on 11 years. So I've known Themba for some time, and I thought that he would be a great person to shoot it with today. So Themba, tell everyone that's watching what you're about, where you're from, and give them some brief insight into your story.
So I suppose knowing you, originally a PE boy, so I grew up in Port Elizabeth, South Africa. I suppose I've had a colorful last few years, doing in a number of industries. I've been in logistics. I used to work for one of the biggest shipping companies in the world, doing logistics. I now live in Johannesburg though. So my wife, or girlfriend at the time, now wife, sort of found PE getting a little bit too small, so we moved to Joburg. And Joburg's a treat. And since moving to Joburg, I've had a lot more opportunity to pursue my creative aspirations, if you could say that.
Sorry to jump in. Your move was purely for a bit of more exposure or a few extra opportunities for what you were directing your path in, or what?
No, not even. Hey, I think we're messing about with the idea of actually immigrating, and it's easier to immigrate from a big city than it would have been from PE.
Sure.
And while I was here, sort of having a bit of time to shoot the shit, I dabbled in creatives and stuff, and it's sort of taken off from there. So now I suppose my creative portfolio consists of anything from voiceovers, a little bit of on-screen acting. Trying my hand at a bit of writing at the moment.
Let's get into the on-screen acting, which I'm a bit more familiar of. For those of you that are based in South Africa, you might have seen Themba, from what I'm aware, in the Take a Lot advert.
Yeah.
He was the truck delivery boy.
Yeah.
And what are the other highlights in your commercial, or let's say not even commercial, but your film career?
So I've started off sort of commercial heavy, which is something I'm desperately trying to break away from, because I think you sort of only have a certain amount of time to play in a certain area before you get too comfortable and get stuck there. So I think the last 3 years I've done everything from budget insurance, hippo.com, Take a Lot, Video Drive. It's quite a few, but we've done a couple of short films. We've done a couple of pilots. I featured in a Netflix series like a year or two ago. Very briefly.
You're allowed to say the name?
It's called Shadow. Yeah.
Shadow.
So it's in Shadow, season 1, episode 8. If anyone wants to go look.
We'll take. Is it online now though?
Yeah. You can watch Shadow on.
So it's currently on. Okay, I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, a whole 15 seconds. But we all got to start somewhere.
Eh? Yeah. There was another film, or there's a series as well that I saw. There was a few South African actors on Netflix. I'm not a buff, and I'm not a seasoned Netflixer. Let's call it that. But I've dabbled in it. Obviously, I'm not based in South Africa, so I do know that the content that you get can vary according to your countries. But I'll definitely take a look. Shadow.
Yeah.
Shadow.
It's actually quite interesting.
Season 1, episode 8.
Season 1, episode 8.
Season 1, episode 8. For those of you who want to go check out on Netflix.
Yeah. Netflix is doing a lot for South Africa at the moment. They seem to be checking out, or at least signing up a lot of guys, which is good for the industry. So it'll be interesting to see. how it goes.
Look, I can only speak. I'm based in Budapest, in Hungary, so I can only speak from what I've seen happen this side, and it has helped with a lot of the employment because a lot of even the American productions will get produced here, just because I'm guessing from a budget point of view, it's a lot cheaper to especially if you want extras. It's a lot cheaper to pay the extras here than what you'll pay in the States. So I've seen a lot of films, and I mean, Will Smith he's been here a ton, not even for the Netflix, but just shooting films, because there are like some very big production companies. I've also dabbled in a few commercials, which cannot say right now, but it's some franchised commercials. So once they air, I'll probably be able to speak about them. But yeah, I'm super stoked. And then from the voiceover side, let's get into that, because it's something that I also get involved with, and it's something that we can do kind of as a freelancer. There's a lot of platforms available now that people in the entertainment industry, or not even in the entertainment industry, if you just feel like you're comfortable in front of a microphone, like you are, you can maybe not make it a full career in the start, but luckily there's the World Wide Web that you can start dabbling in it and just doing the odd recordings. So for those people that are looking for your particular type of voice, let's shoot a little plug here quickly. What platform are you on? How can they see your portfolio work? Or do you have a little online presence that you're running? I know, for example, I get some stuff done on Fiverr, which is one of the bigger platforms. But I know that you are on some of the other platforms. So do a little shameless plug. Let everyone know let everyone know where you are and what you're doing with the voiceover.
So you can pretty much find me if you type in Themba Robin online. It's Themba-Robin, sometimes underscore, different variations on different websites. Some allow different characters and stuff. But you can just go online, Google Themba Robin. But I mean, you can find me on voices.com, Upwork. For the South African guys, Voice Bank. Pretty much,
Voice Bank is a South African platform only?
So it's pretty much the South African database of voiceover artists.
Okay.
It's a subscription-based thing, and then everybody can go on there. At the risk of alienating myself or probably getting myself in trouble, I find the website actually a little bit archaic. I don't think it's been updated since 2013, but it is still the place where a lot of people go to look for voices. But
so there's a lot of traffic from South African companies going there, or anyone doing a project that just is looking for a voiceover. Yeah,
a lot of the older guys still run through. They go and get their voices from Voice Bank. So it still works. But I definitely sense there needs to be a bit of a change.
There's no refresh happening.
There's a new one that's popped up. Voice Me. That's the other one.
VoiceMe.com.
.co.za.
Okay, South African.
But also South African voices. But I think if we have a follow-on episode one time from this, we must dive into voiceover. I think it's a world that you and I are lucky enough to be a part of. But I feel like nobody actually knows much about it, to be honest with you. I mean, myself getting into it, I've had to learn everything now, moving through the...
Sure. And essentially you become your own, I mean, with no taking away, no credit from legitimate sound engineers. You have to kind of become your own sound engineer if you want to do it as a freelance sort of platform. So I mean, look, I also enjoy, let's say, like I enjoy reading people's comments and what they say about certain platforms. So I'm not familiar with the voiceme.co.za, I'm guessing. But for example, even like on Fiverr, there's a ton of people that would also complain where they go, oh yeah, you just selling these, low quality, cheap voiceover. I mean, not directed to me. This is just what I've seen
Yeah,
amongst general forums, and because some people will literally just record it with, your little
yeah,
headphones, and but the joyous thing which I found, or the nice thing which I found about these sorts of platforms, is that don't complain about, the 16 or 18-year-old, with a fairly average setup.
yeah,
If he can sell you something for, like, I don't know, they start at $5, so in the US.
yeah.
So if they can provide you with a $5 product that's for like a little personal project that you don't need, then just, who are you to judge
Go for it.
what's quality is very subjective. Like, if that's going to be good enough for you, then
Mm.
um, yeah, I mean, who are you to judge what's, of course, like,
Yeah,
I have to do a lot more mixing for, particular clients that,
yeah.
or I have to take my audio files, get the sound technician to mix it properly for me, so it just depends on
And
the
it's work, eh?
project. But yeah, of course, then those will, those are going to be your higher paying clients.
Yeah.
It's not going to be
I
someone
I
just looking
find
for a side project.
I find like the smaller paying jobs, like you say, the passion projects and stuff like that, even with guys that'll phone me directly and I say, hey, listen, man, my kid's doing a play and they need a voice for
A little
whatever.
MC or intro, or yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, obviously, then it's definitely you're not going to shake them for all they're worth, sort of thing.
No, no.
But yeah, I mean, when you see a company, a global company, come through with like a 80 word um,
Script.
voiceover, and they want to give you 80 word script, and they want to give you like $40 for it, $40 for it, and you're like, I don't know, hey, I mean,
Yeah, but like I say, that's also where I I I think these platforms are great, because
yeah,
those people that are going to jump on to go, oh, you underselling all the professionals that, would,
yeah,
let's say, charge $500
mm,
instead of
mm,
$5. But that's fine, because then you're going to attract the clients that are wanting your $500 product. So
yeah,
so for me as well, it also depends on your situation. Now maybe that there's not as much of your day-to-day job going around for some
yeah,
people. um, Maybe they prepared to take a smaller amount for that 80 word script. So of course you go $40 for 80 word, of course not. But
yeah.
for, depending on the situation, maybe some people at this stage are going, well, I'm not, beggars can't be choosers. I'm not gonna,
I think that's a definitely true fact, eh?
I'm not going to turn away $40 where I could read these 80 words on a script during this
Yeah.
current situation, or whatever personal situation you might be in,
Mm.
because a buck is a buck. What it's going to be
Hey, listen,
valuable.
$40 is better than nothing any day, hey? And to be
Yeah,
honest, I mean, 80 word script doesn't take you that long anyways. It's
it doesn't. But to go back to your point, to be fair, um, in the normal runnings of how the voiceover stuff works,
mm,
sure, it's like the market. I mean,
yeah,
if the market's sitting there, that's where you should, you look at how you, if you're running um, a rental, you're going to look around the area, what people are, charging per month for their rental, and you're going to price accordingly. So
yeah,
um, so yeah, I mean, it's all just fairly uh, personal and subjective to what you're prepared to do.
yeah,
But that's why I do like these platforms. Like, I think they, if you're a very very beginner, like we all once were,
yeah, yeah.
or still am. I'm still learning a ton about sound
Every day,
and
man.
everything. I mean, even setting these calls up, and
Yeah,
when we have meetings and that, it's, you learn uh, about all of those
yeah, you
things.
do. And I mean, yeah, you'll get better, and you learn your own little tricks, and you eventually put forward a product that's unique to you. Your From everything from your timing to your editing style to everything, it just becomes a product that people then look for, and that's not something you can learn from other people. It's some stuff that you actually have to develop
Yeah, you have to do. And I
on
mean,
your own.
a ton of Googling and a ton of YouTubing and self
How
teaching.
wonderful is YouTube? You can
Bro,
teach yourself all these
how
things.
how wonderful is the internet? Period. If you're gonna seek out the good and the positive stuff and the helpful stuff on the internet, you're gonna find it. If you're gonna go
No,
look for the
exactly.
bad stuff, you're gonna go find it. Just follow, certain people, and you'll find the negative.
Well,
Um,
case in point, Hungary on one side, South Africa on the other side. I mean, this would never have been possible. I mean, even with the ease at which, okay, we did battle a slight bit at the beginning, but I mean, the ease at which we're able to have this set up and going. I mean, shit, if I think back to high school, I don't think you could have even done stuff
no,
like
no, no, no. We'll still, for the South African old school kids out there, mix it. That was pretty much the only. That was like how you can send a message. I can send a message to Themba for 1 cent. Like, that's incredible. Off of my
that.
29
Visit Joe
Vodacom,
Banker.
my Vodacom top up, or not even 12 Rand. Like,
Man, the days when 12 Rand lasted ages, man. Ages. It was just
you'll be able, and you check your account balance. You type in that star whatever hash, and keep checking that balance to make sure, And then when it gets rough and you need to get some, you just send that please call me.
yeah. No, got it. It's always that ace for just in the ace for just in case, eh?
We'll just go. So reverting to your field of entertainment. So you've got your commercials, which I think it's fair to say you've more than dabbled in at this stage.
Yeah. Commercials is a steady, yeah.
Is a steady. Then you've got your voiceover work.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you're not running a 9 to 5 job at this stage.
No, I am. So I actually work for a distillery. I manage sales and marketing for a distillery called Six Dogs. So they're from the Western Cape.
Mm-hmm. And this is a gin.
Yeah, gin.
This is a gin.
Craft gin, South African craft gin. So the South African craft market sort of exploded somewhat, and gin's the new big in thing sort of thing. So the Oaks are doing it. So there's a lot of really good brands that have come out of South Africa. I'm lucky enough to look after one of them. And yeah, so that's my 9 to 5. And then
sorry, are you one of the founding members of this distillery, or
no
on board?
We're just an employee, I guess.
Okay.
At face value, but I mean we're a small team of eight people, 4 of which are family. So we're pretty much one big family. So it's to me it's more than just a job, I guess. Yeah. There's a definite attachment to it.
So sorry, the name, it's called Six Dogs.
Six Dogs Distillery, yeah.
Six Dogs Distillery. And this gin you can find in stores, or you can only find it in certain places, or?
Yeah, no, you can buy it anywhere, pretty much anywhere in South Africa. There's a big market there's a big overseas market. So Australia, the USA, so the East Coast, the guys buy quite a bit. UK a little bit slow, but I mean I suppose they're the origins of gin, so to get in there is a little bit more difficult.
A little bit tough, yeah.
Yeah, we do quite well in the exports market. So
great. And then in the local South African markets, where you can find it in the normal bottle stores, the Topses, the Prestons, or wherever.
Most restaurants, most bottle stores. Pretty much mainstream shelf spacing. Can find it.
So it's a fairly large operation that's running at the moment.
No, so we're, like I say, our entire team consists of about eight people, maybe 12 people including production.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I look after Gauteng, Lesotho, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, quite a big area sort of thing. So it's a bit of a task, but the brand's really good. So
for a team of 12, sure, it's a small team, but if you're already distributing to all the to the Oz, to the UK, if you're already distributing as you are, and you can find it in most of the South African market, would call that quite successful. It's not a startup.
No. We're doing well, and I mean, even through difficult patches like now, we're lucky enough to be in a position to say, okay, listen, guys, where some of the other brands might be nipping and going, we're going to have to close our doors in 2 days. We're not particularly facing that as of yet. So,
because it's a smaller team, which is a bit more manageable.
Smaller team, and we've had to be a lot more clever about our money than just splashing out on huge promotions and stuff. So one-on-one, yeah, floor, on the ground sales. But luckily for me, the two sort of my two passions go hand in hand. So I do a lot of events around town and stuff, and through that I'm already talking to the events guys. So then I'm just like, listen, while I'm here, let me chat to your food and beverages guy. And so a lot of the time I go to a place to sell gin, I end up selling myself for a little MC gig or something, or vice versa. So the two work really nicely together.
Yeah, and so you should. Like, to push on that point, there's, and I mean, people are going to probably hear me say this quite a lot. Like, it's called Coffee and Perspective. I mean, I called this Coffee and Perspective for a reason. Number one, I love coffee. I'm not a genius about it, but I enjoy drinking it. And and for me, in every situation, in everyone's unique situation, you're going to have to keep a perspective on things. And with that perspective, it's all going to link up to how you've set yourself up, what you're doing. Are you grateful for what you're doing? Whereas, I mean, we kind of in the same boat, you and myself, where we've taken big risks to land, to try to put ourselves in the position where we can still do what you said, passionate about, and still, maybe not make a lot of money in the beginning, or maybe not make a lot of money ever. But yeah, happiness over the money in the end of the day.
Exactly.
So if you can keep going, and like you say, you work a 9 to 5, but it's not really a job for you. You get up and you look forward to working, which, I don't want to say a lot of people can't do, but if you had to do a rough survey, there's a ton of people unhappy with what they're doing. A ton of people.
On that note, so the podcast I started last year, it's called Tea Time. Quite interesting. You got the coffee, I got the tea.
I haven't listened to any of your podcasts, to be fair. So
I'll send you a link. And the whole thing was based on, first of all, the principle of, a lot of us, we have good ideas, we don't execute on them, and it's something we've spoken about in that. Sometimes you just got to get out there and do it. Sometimes you just got to do it. It might not be perfect the first time round, but you can't sit and wait till you've perfected it and then do it. Life doesn't work like that.
Because when do you perfect it?
Exactly.
You perfect it by doing it.
And you'll only know what's wrong once you've buggered something up a little bit, so that you can go, okay, shit, that was a bit of a mistake. So first of all, is to say, pull the trigger. And the second thing, and this will be possibly diving into your side and your last little bit of history sort of thing, is to say, I think lots of guys write off pursuing a passion because they think, I want to be a singer, or I want to be an actor, and you get so focused on a single thing, you actually forget that when you go to a set, or if you go to a concert, there's so many different jobs that are done there that you can spill into, sort of thing. And I think lots of people don't keep their dreams alive because they go, oh, well, I could never be a singer. But I mean, that's not to say you couldn't be a voice coach, or you could teach breathing techniques for voiceover artists, because that's a big thing that voiceover artists struggle with, is just simple breathing techniques. So I don't think you need to abandon your day job.
Sure.
Keep food on the table, but keep your dreams and passions. So anyway,
look, that's why, I mean, to go back to the beginning of our chat, is that there's the internet. Like, I'm gonna try use it for good, only good, as much as I can, for someone else and for myself, and like, from my side, luckily, I've never had, well, not never had to, I've chosen not to work a 9 to 5. Just because even throughout university, I studied psychology, but then through university, I was performing the center stage in PE.
Yeah.
So I never really had to do that normal varsity job. I waited tables, I bartended, I did a mix of things just because why not,
Yeah. It's part of that stage of life.
Yeah,
You're
it's
going
part of
through
it. Like you should go wait tables, you should go bartend.
Yeah.
You should be working for very little money, but gain a ton of experience, or just even if it's how to deal with someone that you don't enjoy working for, like
Yeah.
the
Or working with.
or working with that.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly how they speak to you, how they deal with you from a management point of view. So even if, and I'll relate it even to when I was doing like some musical theater stuff, in the musical theater and in general, you can get people different personalities, and the way they teach or the way they can get things across, they've got different methods. So I mean, I had someone tell me that, when they heard me sing, they wanted to vomit, or, like I've had that said to my face. And so even if it's not maybe learning something within your craft, you can be learning of how not to speak to somebody, what not to say to somebody, because that didn't trigger well with me. I didn't feel motivated by that. So, that wasn't a good like pushing approach. That wasn't a good leadership approach. So, and I still remember to this day. I mean, I still remember it. And this happened 13, 14 years ago. So like I was a teenager. So, for me to remember that, I still take it. I'm like, that's not the best approach to take with, anyone generally, never mind a teenager. Like,
and it's something so simple. I mean,
something so simple.
So to jump in there, my dad once said to me one thing, and he'd get frustrated with us, and he'd always say, he'd be like, "What you're doing is stupid," or blah blah blah. But he always made a note, and he'd say to you, "Listen, just remember, I didn't call you stupid. I said what you're doing is stupid." That's the difference. Is that some people will go, they'll attach something directly to you, as opposed to if you just put a little bit of space between it, then somebody doesn't take it on board as to go, yeah, I'm stupid. If I say, if I acknowledge, okay, what I did was stupid, cool, but I'm not stupid, therefore I can fix it, I can behave differently next time. And it's a simple sentence like that. Sentence delivery, or what you've just said is just simple, but it changes somebody's outlook.
So I mean, you have to go through that, and then to just clear up the journey. Yes, not everyone can, you have to work their 9 to 5 sometimes, but there is something called the internet. There's something called a phone. You've got the power of it in your pocket. Like I can get my voice, sure, it's not my full job, the voiceovers, but I can be out and about. I can be shopping. I can be at gym. I can be anywhere. And my phone goes off. Oh, you have a request. Like, someone wants to connect to, here's the script. I can see it. I can read the script. I can reply. I can do everything there. I go get the job done, and I've made an extra, a couple of bucks. It's getting another stream of income, but doing it not for the money. I'm doing it because I'm interested in the voiceover work. I'm interested in the sound game, the mixing, the everything, based around, the software that you use, the equipment that you use.
It's interesting on that. And then I think another big thing that I've sort of changed through, and again, a similar thing between the two of us is we're both entrepreneurial sort of thing. So, despite me wanting to be an entertainer and be in the creative space, in the spirit of multiple revenue streams and staying alive and just, being comfortable sort of thing. Also, I've tried to run 1 or 2 businesses on the side. And it's not easy. Second time over and you failed. And now I'm on my 3rd attempt sort of on a side business, and things are looking better.
Yeah.
But, a lot of folks say to me, they go, yeah, but why are you trying to do everything and stuff? Is it because I don't want to have to chase a single thing? So my first auditions were terrible. And like my first auditions, it was heartbreaking. You go for an audition and oaks gawk at you and like judge you, and then they tell you to sod off and they don't want to ever see you again, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you know, that was me just taking it to heart, but it wasn't my bread money.
No.
Whereas now I've got to sit next to oaks, so hyperventilating because they know if they get this job, that means they sorted for 6 months and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm going, you can't be creative and have that sort of like
Mindset.
nerve wracking. Yeah, it's like I do this, like you say, exactly so that I can get a request for a voiceover. I mosey on home, I do it like there's no stress and because then you start getting frustrated when Oaks one changes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, just
Yeah. And then they want like the smallest change, which will affect the whole segment of the recording.
Yeah. So you take that, I don't know. I don't even know what you could call it, but that's why I've always said, okay, let me have something else on the go so that when I go to an audition, I can be me as opposed to going, shit, I need to eat for 6 months.
Yeah. Look, there's I think this is a very good this is a good topic to point on for entertainment in general, and I'm gonna call it how it is. Like, whether you are an actor, whether you're a musician, whether you do stage productions, musical theater, whether you do whatever, restaurant gigs, anything, voiceover work, it's it's not going to be I want little Themba to grow up and get a steady job. There is no such thing as a steady job anymore.
Yeah.
Let's just call it how it is. Even if you are, unless you are part of a huge corporation, probably your chances are a little bit more secure.
Yeah.
Secure being, a bit of a wavy word as well. Because I've seen people working with the biggest franchise companies and very high positions, and they get cut like that. Here in Europe as well.
Yeah.
So I've seen that happen a lot, but especially with the entertainment, even your actors, they're going from movie to movie. They're going from script to script. So unless you are, a very A-list celebrity or A-lister, let's just call it that. And A-lister meaning not that you're the best, but just whatever your product is or whatever you have to offer, or maybe you just have the right agent, or, you just got the right network or contacts. They can get consistent work, but a lot of the times, like you say, you can't just go walk into an audition and hope that this one's going to be the one, because most likely you're going to be sitting like that 101 times before that one comes along, so, and then you're going to get depressed and demotivated and eventually just go, I'm going to throw in the towel. This isn't for me. Or maybe I'm not good enough. So take that pressure, like you say, take that pressure off of you and try to figure out another stream just to pay the bills.
I'd say at the end of the day, just don't let it die. Whatever it is, never let it die. Like, we've heard crazy stories of, I've got Stephen Castle on one of the episodes, and he went professional. He went pro boxing at 35, and 35 is the cutoff age for professional boxers. And he turned pro like a day before he turned 35.
35, yeah.
And then he went on to be, and he went on to have like 8 successful pro fights or 10 successful pro fights. I mean, where the road was looking to have run out, like there's no more tarmac left, he was standing there, and he extended this by like another 100 kilometers just because he tried it. So don't let your dreams die.
Yeah. So talking about dreams, what are your those that you prepared to share, or those that you are willing to share? Because they always say never reveal all your secrets or all your plans.
No, don't play your whole hand.
But what are some? I don't want to call it plans, but what are some aspirations? Let's say that and we're not going to play back this and go, oh, Themba, you never made that. You failed completely at doing that thing that you said. It's not about that. Just something that is running through your brain, something that you're hoping for, or something that you worked really hard towards, that you would like to achieve.
I think just playing in the space at the moment. I'm not even entirely sure where this whole thing will land, but I think as a game plan or as a mindset, I think the world's at a point where everybody's putting out content. There's a lot of content being put out there. I have a bit of a gripe with most of it because it's mindless. And that for me is, you live in an information age, like we've just mentioned how many times that we've got all this information at our fingertips. It doesn't make sense for us to go online and watch so and so making a toasted sandwich and waste hours of our day watching someone else's life, sort of thing. But at the core of it, I'm an entertainer and I enjoy making things for people to enjoy. So for me, I have to inject a little bit of education into that, or motivation, or feel good, or just so if somebody watches one of my videos or listens to a podcast, they walk away from it going, I had a good laugh, but I've got something to think about, or something like that. So I definitely want to take whatever the next step is, sort of working on a few YouTube aspirations, sort of thing. But yeah, just it's enjoyable content that's got a bit of a message and a bit of a story. Just people that follow my content, I just want them to be mindful guys and girls and all the rest. Just
so like I can understand, and like and I understand it because it's something that I also try to aspire to, is you always want to take something entertaining, but at the same time, if it's not going to be just entertaining, it needs to have some form of educative plot to it.
Just leave people
so
thinking.
If you're not going to entertain people, then you must be educating them about something. Or if you're not, then you must be entertaining them, or a nice blend between the two.
Right. So no, I definitely don't want to become a teacher or any sort. But definitely that sort of thing. And then probably I'll have to pick your brain about it, because I know you're in the motivational space. But I wouldn't mind after maybe like another year of this and just really get my mind around it, is probably going to a little bit of motivational speaking and just again get people amped and
when I mean, to wrap off, when I think of motivational speaking, like, I try not to go with it as the motivating factor being like, oh, I need to, let's rally people up, or let's get these people going. I look at it, because I've done the psychology side, I'm like very, very interested in that field of how people think, what's going to make them tick. So I try to, just like you've done now during this chat, you kind of just tell your story, but link them up to things that are going to make people think. And indirectly, you're actually motivating them. If they're really paying attention, in their brain, it doesn't have to be like sit in front of a crowd and talk to them. It can be a group of 6 people that, someone said, oh, do you want to just come in and have a chat? Which I find to be quite effective at, most times as well, not just standing on a stage in front of people going, yo, rah, rah, rah. But more to tell your story, and because your story is unique, that's why I also wanted to have you, first up. But at the same time, make them just get that thought process going of, damn, I do have the internet in my pocket. Damn, I am better off than someone else. Damn, I should have maybe numerous little pet projects happening on the side of my 9 to 5. Because, who says that because I work for this big company, I'm going to be secure forever. And even maybe you're really unhappy with that spot, and the people that you'll speak to, maybe they're really unhappy where they're sitting, but those 5 other little pet projects keep their mind positive, keep them super pumped, very happy, getting those creative juices flowing, because that's what they really want to do. So because they fill that cup, when they go into their 9 to 5, they're probably going to be more productive there as well. And I mean, they can get shouted at, or, they could be sitting with bad employees like we discussed, or an employer.
Yeah.
And they're more likely to brush that off and take it with a pinch of salt because, you know, they're,
And at the end of the day, you're
in the
going
end of
to
the day,
invest
they've got their little pet projects, their little pet projects running on the side. So yeah, but you know, off screen or on screen, but off screen.
We'll dive into that. Yeah.
We'll chat about that sometime as well.
Yeah, cool.
Because yeah, that's a space I'm also very passionate about. So whatever we do is going to be passionate. So to wrap off, tell everyone on Facebook, on YouTube.
Yes.
Tell everyone where they can find you on the 1 million sites that you've got. And yeah, tell them where they can find you. If they want to, if the shameless plug, if they want to hire you, where can they find you? And yeah, what I can do is maybe afterwards, once this is up, I'll just go and edit in the description and I'll pop some of your email address or whatever you want to share with everyone.
So yeah, I suppose off the bat, the only handle you'll ever have to remember is Themba Robin, and that's Themba Robin. Whether you type it in with a dash or not. Luckily, it's a fairly unique name, so there aren't too many hits on anything. But yeah, I've got a check out my Facebook page. I've got demo reels. I've got my acting reel up there, and from there you could probably actually link to everywhere else. So yeah, check out Facebook, Themba Robin. Instagram is Themba Robin. Voice Bank, voices.com, Upwork, all Themba Robin. So whatever your need is, just type in Themba Robin, I'll pop up, and I'm sure there'll be some samples there for you to check out.
Great. So everyone who's needing voiceover, who is ever interested in having him as MC, especially in South Africa.
Yeah.
But those of you who are not and you wish to fly him over anywhere, I'm sure he's happy to travel.
I fly economy.
He's a cheaper ticket. But yeah, go check him out. I'll try after this. I'll try put as much as I can in the descriptions below, both on Facebook and on YouTube. And if you get lost, just rewind this back once it's up forever, and you can go find out all these things. Themba,
and thanks for having me, man.
I appreciate you, man. Coffee and Perspective 001. We'll play this back someday, and yeah, you were my very, very first guest of a project that I've been wanting to do for ages. So, like we said, do it and just do it.
Shot, brother. Thanks for having me.
Much love, bro. Everyone, cheers. Please share this. Please like it. Comment in the sections, even after this live stream when it's playing. And show Themba some love. Comment on things that you found useful. And go follow him. He's a great dude doing some really, really good stuff. And yeah, I'm proud to know him. Much love. All right. Cheers, everyone.
Peace.